night, President Trump posted an AI-generated image of himself as the Pope, apparently ordering a one-way ticket to hell. Who posts a photo of themselves dressed like a guy who died a week ago?
Melania Trump revealed that the theme of this year's White House Christmas decorations is America the Beautiful, which is a big change from her previous theme, Eyes Wide Shut.
Think politics can't get any crazier. Think again. Colin Jost and Michael Che just turned the latest political circus into a full-blown comedy demolition derby. They're roasting Trump and Melania so fiercely the Secret Service might have taken notes. CHZ punchlines. Hit like lightning. Just expressions land harder than his wedding photos ever did. And just when you think the jokes can't get any wilder, the stage transforms into a comedic crime sign. Brace yourself, because the next target is going to leave you gasping.
The bigger story, of course, this week is that Donald Trump has been accused of a range of sexual misconduct by now 10 different women. But the truth is, they're still just allegations. This is America, and Trump is entitled to a defense. So let's hear him out.
When you looked at that horrible woman last night, she would not be my first choice, that I can tell you.
Trump, of course, is claiming his accusers are only coming out now for fame and publicity. Yeah, that's every little girl's dream.
You walk into a room and Colin Jost and Michael Che are already there sharpening their comedy knives like two over-caffeinated surgeons about to perform a roast that might just break international law.
Your first choice. The problem is you weren't her choice, period. And what are you trying to tell us exactly? If you did find her more attractive, then you would have groped her? It's like telling your girlfriend, oh, come on, I would never cheat on you, baby. I don't have any good options right now. And by the way, we'd probably believe Trump more if while he talked, he wasn't groping the air the entire... It's kind of an embodiment of his entire presidency because it's just a violation of norms that no other president or person has ever conceived of.
The moment their eyes land on anything remotely connected to Trump or Melania, it's game over. The energy shifts, the lights dim, and somewhere an eagle cries in terror. Then the chaos erupts. The first joke hits, and suddenly the room feels like someone just threw open a window in the middle of a hurricane.
Trump responded to a report showing the U.S. economy was declining by posting, "Be patient." And if his brain gets any worse, he's gonna be patient. Attorney General Pam Bondi claimed that if not for Donald Trump seizing fentanyl at the border, 75% of all Americans could be dead. But hey, don't threaten us with a good time. I believe these accusations are part of a conspiracy to rig the election. Only Donald Trump could have sex scandals, no political experience, poll at 0% with minorities, and still say, if I lose.
If you're enjoying this video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. Trump's ego gets the first hit a gentle poke, like jabbing a sleeping bear with a selfie stick. But that's all it takes. Once Joe starts, he doesn't quit. He commits like a man still trying to convince Scarlett Johansson he belongs at her table. And honestly, who?
Trump was at the Pope's funeral. That means he walked past an open casket and was like, oh, we should do a who wore it best. It's truly like if the week Queen Elizabeth died, I posted this. I don't know, I just feel like as a Catholic, Trump's photo just feels slightly disrespectful. Also, if Trump really wants to be Pope, he should probably stay away from J.D. Vance.
Che enters the roast like he's been training his whole life for this exact moment. He doesn't walk, he glides, he saunters. He leans into the mic with the confidence of a man who has nothing to lose and everything to laugh at. Together, Joe and Che turn Trump into a living, breathing setup for every punchline imaginable. No quotes needed. His own decision provided enough comedic scaffolding to build a skyscraper. And the duo, they unwrap it. Like kids on Christmas morning, grinning at exactly what they've been waiting for. Then they pivot smooth, dangerously smooth like masters testing the FCC's patience. Melania steps in like a seasoned 3 character writers added to shake things up. They don't call her mysterious, but the tone says it all. She's 5 seconds away from asking Siri how to vanish quietly. The humor is sharp. Aim at the absurdity, the optics, the bubble wrap world surrounding the whole circuit.
Government shutdown, SNAP food benefits ran out of funds today, but the government still provides needy families with free food through the Second Amendment. Japan's new Prime Minister Sanai Takachi said during a press conference that she is nominating President Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. And I can't believe I get to say this, but thank God nobody listens to women.
Joe casually wonders, of course, how someone can look perpetually unamused, as if they've been held hostage by bad decisions since the early 2000s. Che adds a comedic side eye, suggesting that if political fashion ever needed a mascot, she'd be a floating billboard for Help Me Energy. Their transitions are flawless, like the professional chefs chopping vegetables at lightning speed. Except the vegetables are political reputations, and the knives are pure sarcasm. No balance, no diplomacy. They go straight for comedic jugular, and the audience devours it. The humor escalates fast. Soft chuckles become full-blown. Someone check on this man energy. Trump is framed as someone who treats every room like a mirror and every conversation as a chance to talk about himself. Just hits him with a side swipe, implying he runs entirely on Diet Coke and Spike. Then they pivot to Melania, whose expression is eternally, "I'm not mad, I'm just lost." They riff on the disconnect between her calm demeanor and the political hurricane around her, like someone accidentally stuck in the wrong Zoom meeting. Too polite to leave, Joe imagines her scrolling Pinterest mid-state dinner. Jay envisions her drafting escape plans disguised as holiday decor.
Cabinet meeting, President Trump acknowledged that due to his tariffs, this Christmas, children might only get 2 dolls instead of 30 dolls. Which brings me to my new segment, Oh Hell No.
Oh, hell no!
Now, I rarely talk directly to the president, but you listen and you listen good. If I wake up on Christmas morning and I run downstairs to find only 2 dolls under my tree, I will lose my effing mind. There better be a second tree with 28 dolls.
They dismantle the power dynamic. Trump's leadership style, a malfunctioning printer, loud, unpredictable, and always demanding attention, just jokes that every decision feels like a coin flip toss by someone who's never actually held a coin. Che adds that if chaos were a brand, Trump would have trademarked it years ago. No quotes needed. The comedy lives in the echoes of what everyone has already seen. The jokes layer, building Trump into the centerpiece of a satirical museum exhibit titled Confidence Without Confidence. From there, they dive into his press appearances like her geologist uncovering clay tablets of ancient nonsense. Just frames every speech as a group project where one person never read the assignment, because of course the assignment doesn't exist. Che riffs that watching Trump talk is like giving a book report on a book no one has ever seen. The spiral continues almost poetic. 2 comedians weaving a tapestry of bewilderment and mockery, so vivid it could hang in a modern art museum. And then as pros do they pivot back.
Last time the U.S. government shut down was during President Trump's first administration in 2018, which was so long ago, we look like this. President Trump claimed that one of the reasons the government shut down is because Democrats want transgender for everybody, which is obviously not true. But at the same time, I wouldn't say no to my own set of these.
Out how someone can be constantly in the spotlight, yet look like they want a refund for the whole experience. Joe imagines her smiling, just won somewhere in 2008, and immediately regretting it. By now, the laughter is relentless. The roast is momentum. They riff off each other with the precision of 2 masters of comedic demolition. Then they push further. Trump has imagined prepping for events like a high school student cramming for finals. Phronic, loud, and with zero actual studying, his confidence, an ungoverned chemical. Reaction, if ego were a sport, he'd retire undefeated. Melania returns as eternal silent observer, blinking like she's signaling SOS in Morse code. Joe wonders if her diary entries are just endless strings of question marks. Che imagines her waking up daily to renegotiate her contract with reality. Politics fades into the background. The roast becomes bigger than politics. It's performance art, a spectacle, a masterclass, and timing powered by 2 comedians who know exactly how to push every boundary with.
The First Lady hosted a trick-or-treat event at what's left of the White House. And this is one of my favorite things that the president does because it's so clear he never trick-or-treated once in his life. Like, in his first term, here's how he gave candy to a kid dressed as a minion. Melania's just like, I guess that is how it's done. And then again this year, he did it to a kid dressed as DJ Marshmallow.
As the momentum builds, they tackle headlines, controversies, and public reactions, never quoting, just interpreting them with the precision of two comedians whose job is to make sense of nonsense. Trump becomes the ultimate unreliable narrator of reality. Melania, the reluctant co-star in a show she never auditioned for. They dissect his mannerisms, the dramatic pauses, the overconfident gestures like a magician who reveals a trick first, then confidently claims he still fooled you. Joe imagines Trump practicing hand motions in the mirror. Che imagines him giving pep talks in the tone of someone pretending to be their own dad. Then comes the twist. They envision how Trump would react to being roasted. Just sees him denying everything, even things no one claimed. Che imagines him insisting that jokes were compliments. Just pictures a press release in all caps and pure emotion. Che imagines him challenging the comedians to a humor-off, whatever that even means. Meanwhile, Melania responds with a shrug, a sigh, or a carefully rehearsed nod, silently communicating that she too is baffled by life on Earth. That once the comedic autopsy of the Trump-Melanian dynamic is complete,
Trump says he will appoint Fox News host Jeanine Pirro as interim U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C. Pirro celebrated the news with a bottle of wine every day for the last 50 years. President Trump announced plans for a 100% tariff on movies made outside the U.S., which is no problem for me because all the movies I watched were filmed in a Florida condo on a leather couch. Trump said he was interested in reopening Alcatraz because it represents something horrible and beautiful and strong and miserable. And
they turn the political era into a reality show nobody asked for, starring a man who craves attention more than oxygen and a first lady who seems to have been cast by accident. Logic is optional. Decisions are spontaneous. Fashion choices are the only consistent communication. The jokes escalate. Trump becomes a mythical creature fueled by microphones. Melania, an enigma wrapped in couture. The political landscape transforms into a playground for two comedians, treating absurdity like renewable energy. They wrap up not with an ending, but a spiraling crescendo of sarcasm. Trump is a man who could trip over his own opinions. Melania, someone who could teleport away from responsibility if she concentrated hard enough. Every metaphor grows grander, every exaggeration more unhinged. And as the storm peaks, the audience is left with one lasting impression. Watching Trump and Melania navigate public life is a marathon of bewilderment, confusion, and unintentional comedy. And Colin Jost and Michael Che are the Olympic commentators we never knew we needed.
President Trump met with Chinese President Xi Jinping. When asked how the meeting went, Trump said this.
Overall, I guess on the scale from 0 to 10, with 10 being the best, I would say the meeting was a 12.
I guess Trump just wanted to show China we're still way worse at math. Trump also visited South Korea and was given a gold crown and served beef patties with ketchup for dinner.
Comedy machine keeps roaring. Of course it does. This roast doesn't end. It lingers like burnt popcorn, reminding everyone something chaotic just happened, even if they can't pinpoint exactly when it spiraled out of control. The momentum shifts again as jokes evolve from character jabs into full-blown theatrical reenactments. The Trump era becomes a dramatic saga retold through sarcasm, speculation, and the occasional raised eyebrow that says more than an entire press briefing. Just imagine Trump treating every room like a campaign rally, complete with invisible applause and imaginary confetti cannons. Che counters, suggesting Trump probably gives pep talks to his own reflection, insisting mirrors count as supporters. Millennium becomes a reluctant coaster in this comedy opera, exuding the energy of someone who's mastered appearing present while secretly plotting an escape to another dimension. She's like an actor handed a script 5 minutes before.
City Mayor Eric Adams met with President Trump yesterday to discuss the city's concerns, namely that Trump's deportations have dramatically cut New York's supply of thick shorties. I love that man. President Trump says Catholics loved an image he posted of him dressed as the Pope last week, but I just find it hard to believe that anyone in the Catholic Church would be into something so juvenile.
Suddenly, Trump isn't just dramatic. He's a man who would give a victory speech after successfully assembling an IKEA chair. Upside down, every minor inconvenience becomes a global conspiracy. A broken pen is sabotage. A misplaced note is evidence. Melania, she quietly wonders why pens ever needed to exist at all. The satire deepens as they imagine a day in the life of the couple is study in controlled absurdity. Trump wakes up to check if the world is still revolving around him. Melania wakes up seeking a quiet corner of the universe to sip tea and pretend none of this is happening. Just pictures Trump narrating his life with dramatic music that doesn't exist. Che imagines Melania pausing mid-walk like an NPC waiting for her programming to resume. Everyday moments become slapstick. By the end, the saga has transformed into a comedic epic. Punchlines, relentless imagery, outrageous satire, hitting harder than a sudden Wi-Fi outage during a Zoom.